So, as you have seen, the physical condition is seriously deteriorated. This requires urgent restoration, and this should be retained as a listed building because it was built by the master builder himself. Next. The next house we'll visit is the Gidenshi Tower, learned people. Next slide. This is the location on Google. Next. Now, it was built by Malan Shitu. That's why it is called Shi Tower, the house of Malan Shitu. It was built equally by Babangwani in 1835, because the same year the mosque that collapsed was constructed was the same year that it was built. And the current contact in the house is Malam Omar Sani. Next. So this is what we have. We have on the right the Zaure, and then on the left we have what the Majalisi, where they have their wazifa, and then we have the Makaranta where studies are taken. Next. Now this is, on the right is the entrance to the Zaure, while to the left is the Majalisi and Makaranta. Next. So you see, this is one of the symbols of Babangwani works. You see flying arches converging at the center. If you recall, the first building we saw, it has something similar. So we've seen this in many of the buildings he has. We'll see them live. Next. Yeah, this part of the Zauri, they have synergized and have installed a fan. It was not part of the original design, certainly, but they're using it for ventilation. Next. Okay, this is still part of the Zauri. Next. Now, this is Asabari, for those that don't know. It's used to cover doorways. You know, in the past, there was no issue of security. You'll afford to have your door open, and then you use Asabari to cover the door. It prevents a negative thermal intrusion and even rain from entering the room. Next. Now the condition of the house is quite good, but there was a small crack in the Majalisi that needs to be sustained. They told us that they maintain these houses annually through contribution from family members. Next. The Angiran Sarki Dalatu is in Amaru here. It's the first one we're going to visit. Next. This is the way to the house. Next. It was built by Sarkin Zazzau. They have Zauran Tangaran and Zauran Bilibili. I'll explain one interesting part of the Zauran Tangaran as we proceed. Next. I do not know who the builder is, but you can see this is one of the signatures of structural failure. The Tangaran will fall down, and people will know that there's a problem with the structure. Okay, now you can see the thickness of the wall, because this is what especially with regards to the finishes. Next. Then the next is Gidam Majpa. Next. So this is it is a story building. We have the ground floor where you have a series of zores. You can see the series of zores, and then what they call al-kuki. Al-kuki is where they usually put their if they have a chibalbal or lantern, it will be placed there. Most often you see.
Morning, sir.
We're lucky, Erima is a builder. So it's part of us. Past president. That was president. First, you'll introduce the house.
Okay.
The members will go around See the edifiers and then if there are questions. Where's the microphone?
So on behalf of the family of the 14th area of Zazzau, Alan Al-Hatu, I'm warmly welcome you to our I think with the aim of preserving those architectural structures for the benefit of the present generation and the future generation. On behalf of the family, we are highly delighted for you to select one of our structures for that particular purpose. So we are highly delighted and we feel highly honored by that. Mr. President, you are asking me to give a brief.
Maybe as we are moving.
This house is a one-man house. It was built by the 11th emir of Zazzau, Malam Usman Yero. He built it before the ascension of emirship of Zaria. He built it when he was the Madakin Zazzau. That was during the reign of his father. What we heard from the records is that this house was built around 1875 when he was the Madakin Zazzau. His father was the Emir Abdullah. When he built the house, he moved in, he stayed briefly, and then later he moved out and allocated or gave the house to one of his children. Where he is receiving his guests, conducting this kind of ceremony. So this is the story I'm talking about. It is called Kangara. Okay. So he was using it as his parlor, your room, hall, and what have you. This story was built along with the house. At that particular time, I told you that was 1875. That's over 150 years ago. So this used to serve as the hall for the mud structure is becoming almost impossible for us. If we are finding problem maintaining this, I don't know what will happen to the next generation, our children, our children's children. So if you see, you will see that we have started replacing the mud structure of the fence with the cement, modern cement block work. So this is. After the demise of our grandfather, his
Thank you. President, sir. Yes. I think they painted the house in anticipation of our coming. You don't believe? I guess I watch as the other guy. You see the.
Why we tell you put you and put you so that enough. Ungal kitchen of Al-Kuchana. What?
His son with Abdullah. In that, the name is very difficult to the father to call it. That is why they used to call it Magaj. In respect of that, then this house was built by Magaj himself. If you look at it here, this many building was built in 1926, which is 100 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So,
Stop.
Okay, thank you.
one of the church.
Dr. Isa?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is true.
Yes.
So by king now cook on. All these are signs of warriors. Kaga, when they have going to the gata here before you enter, you get the permission.
Yes.
Warriors. We have a
We are the relics of.
She compensated her brother, Makai.
Okay.
And give it this house. If you live here, you become the emir. So the first house, the crown prince are living here.
Okay.
When you are living here, after father you become the emir. Okay. That is why they keep this house for the princes. Okay. We have about 60 high rulers.
Yes.
Which is Queen Amina is not only a ruler, not a queen.
That is a question I just asked. But did she rule Zaria or she was a warrior?
She followed her father's warriors for the war.
Thank you.
So was she the commander?
Yes,
How come she became so prominent?
that is what he like. What you want, for example, this is her in your hobby. The hobby is a war. So she follow them and see how they are doing. That is what
Yes, some warrior.
exactly.
So she never ruled.
She did the command,
But she was the commander. Commander.
but she's not a queen. She's a princess. We have a list of 60 hundred rulers. There is no name of her. List of.
Amma ta nan muka je. Ai, ko ka shiga za ka fito. Akwai hanyar.
It is the house of Bokongun built by himself. In 1875, 1885. Okay? So it's considered as an old building and it is still naked. Naked, no plastering. So, Sarki Magina, Turanci za ka yau. Okay, to, an ce ka yi da Hausa mu, da za a ji. Ka ba shi kan. Bismillah. Ka ɗan bayanin ginin.
Wannan tsohon gini da muke gani, which we are looking here, is the real building of the Ogungun. That was his house, was built in 1885. So one of the descendants here standing are now doing his position as a Sirkamagin. We have before him, we have about 17. But somebody was really known as the Caribbean in 1836. From here he said the area was given instruction to him to make that building of the marks of the area's side to the Moka. It was not there before. It is from Angwenjua. They then had the boats and come to the emerald part of the building. From here, he lived here to go to the library for visiting the area of the library. And he asked him, have you gone somewhere? He said, no. He said, I need to go one of here. After when he finished, the emir sent him to kill him because he don't want him to do it alone.
somewhere other place. So that is why when he is going for the Eastern Fair, it is a fair. Till now, we don't know where he is. So that is
So, thank you very much. Mr. President, sir, you need to enter here. This epitomizes the excess from artistic ornamentation of our country. Only 50-year-olds. Sorry.
So shi ma nan ne zauren shi. Yes. Okay.
Wait, one more. One more, last one.
Three. All right.
da je gida kuma a ce ya bacci ko kuma zai sai ko dare ya yi.
Mr. President, yes, okay, Mr. President, some of us might have seen a post on Facebook saying that this house is 500 years old. And when we inquired, it's not true. Okay. It's about 126 years old. Okay. We were challenged by someone to find this. Double artist.
Yes.
Yes, come on. I got some other people. You got some other. Ranar muna zaune mu shattara su suka da shiga kamar yadda na gaya maka ne za su zo da manyan bakin ga president ɗinmu na ƙasa gaba ɗaya wanda shi ne sa'in Kano shi ne mataimaki na former president dan former president ga ita ke shugabancin mu yanzu wannan batura kuma shi ne dan wani kakanmu ne sauran kuma cikin minti biyu wala kaɗan mana bayanin gidan da masal biyu
ko ka sa
baki
ni dai jika ne da malami balare kuma wannan gida malam shari'u shi ne uban malami da balarabe da malam mamono shi ya gina masu wannan gida zaunar da sunan ya musa kuma maginin gidan nan sun ana kiran shi malam
Abdulkadir ka ce haka ne ba da alaka da babban gwani it's not related to ka ce makocinku ne mana yawa shi yasa ga style din with no sin any
a lokacin da kai rayuwa ka san shi zai kai shekara tunaninka kai za ka shekara nawa yanzu shekara 72 to kaga ba kama san wancan ba to sai mu iya dora kan kamar 100 da dan wani abu
ya kai 100 da ba haka
amma da libya da aka ce da
kai ba
aure bai musu bai kai da ribe ba amma da aka da ta su kawo wasu
malam shi da nan gidan da yau ni wakilin sarki ne wakilin tarihi
to mu da abin da ma shi ya gina ma ya musu aure
nan na sani shi ma
muna godiya malam muna godiya
wai menene ma'anar shi wannan siginature din?
Designer ne.
Kawai da kyau. Yau ga amma wannan yana taimakawa wa brand ne. Bim din kenan.
Ai bim din kenan ginin. Ka sa ka shiga nan.
Wannan step sanan da shi wannan shi ma the form of structure ba kuma da fashin ba kuwa san kudi
zo mana a shi ne nika ta kiran ka tunda zo mana
dala bara mu dan
ka zo ka iya ko
ke dai tana cikin aiki ne ma shi yana ina
zo na gidanka ne zo ah 1 2 let's go 2
sun samu irin MP drop na printing suka dinga suna rubutawa haka na zafi yana da hoton za suna
a daga murya
shi wancan
gina yawa
yana da kusan shekara
191 years
85 years kuma wanda ya gina shi ne maginan da ya gina masallacin juma'a da shi ne kongon gida daya aka gina ya gina masallacin juma'a ya kuma gina wannan gida wannan gani shi ne dai bayan da
bismillah sai
ko a kan nan barin tura amma fa ilimi ba shi ne
sai aka ce ba za a kwashi gaba ɗaya sai muka sa aka sa da ruwa to shi ne kira ka gan shi nan ka gani za ka kiyaye kaurin ba ɗaya ba ne saboda wannan saboda is in the picture
ma ka san tarihin wannan su
matalle da ana dauko min yan bulokan gaban da
Actually, I forget my battery charger for that place. But this guy don't help me pick up.
Products of the maintained.
Yeah, this one has been maintained with the correct technique and everything. There are still more houses here in the city, but you know, you can easily tell them.
Buildings, this, the other Garibaldi house, where Garibaldi stayed with his family, and from there he moved to Sudan when he was made bishop. Then the other building is still in St. Francis. So in 2029, we have already started planning. There is this museum people from Abuja. The present king entered here in 1998. Present King Charles, then Prince, he entered here in 19. So you can imagine that when that time comes, we've already started making connections. We don't know who is coming, but it's the world that will be gathering here. And thank God that you people are here. Yes. So we cherish these structures, and we thank God that God has helped us to host these buildings that has become a center of attraction to the world. So we are grateful. Nigeria Institute. Yes. Okay. In Ahmedjuni. All right. Nigeria Institute of Architects. Yes. This is welcome. Yes.
So Bishop Diamond, we want to go around. Hey,
you are free. Actually going out.
All right.
Oh, we have a meeting.
I'll just take the shots.
Okay. You are welcome. I want you to in Brito. No, go ahead. Okay. I want him to look at it. So something I want is how they will make. Yes.
No, this was for
restoration, right?
Yes, this was for restoration.
You know, if we talk about Usasa, usually we must talk about three things. That's what makes Usasa: the school, the hospital, and the church. In fact, if you're talking about Usasa and you don't mention these three, it's as good as you are having a three-legged stool and then two is off. You know it will never balance. So this is the hospital, which is close by. I'm sure we'll be able to get there. Also built almost around the same time, like that. And then you have Semba School, where you have the likes of T.Y. Danjuma. Yes, so it's quite a notable place. And then there's the chapel.
Thank
You have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Usasa is the incredible of Christianity now because Usasa is St. Bartholomew's Anglican Church. It was built around 1925, 26, 27, up to 29. Of course, within that range, because there are different stories to it. For instance, it didn't start from this place. It didn't start from here. It started from somewhere in Birku, okay, out the outskirts of Zaria. That's where it started from. Before the emir then moved, gave a 1 square mile, if I'm very correct, for this place. This was the forest area, the wild area. But then when they came in, they settled, and three things was very critical to the establishment of Usasa. You have what is called the school, which is St. Bartholomew's School, the hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and then the church. So Usasa plans on a tripod, the hospital, the church, and the school. Let's come and let me just call the church, please. It was not this, when you check from the back, you will see, but we still have some of the areas where you still have that original material that was there as it is in the beginning. So we again welcome you to the sound of the Diocesan Communication for Usasa Diocese. It's good to have you here.
One question, one observation, one comment. Just one. If there is no, let me ask. I'll go in British normal. Please, how are we able to maintain this quality of, oh, please.
This, like he rightly pointed out, this church started in Durumi Megarike in 1903. Then by 1924, when the grandfather of the present emir was about to leave office, the throne, then this site was given. So the construction took 5 years to complete. So the church was dedicated on 30th March 1929.
Okay.
That is St. Bartholomew's Day.
Yeah.
That's why it's called St. Bartholomew's Church. Yeah, during Emir Ibrahim, after Ali and Sidi.
Yeah.
So in 1925, the Prince of Wales visited this church in Durumi Megariki. Okay. Then in 2006, the present King Charles of England, when he was Prince of Wales, he visited us. Now, answering your question about maintenance, in the year prior to that, every year from the church funds, we put out something for the maintenance. Now, if you notice, there's a roof. You know, the zinc roof we put there. It's because of the water seepage. We have.
No, stand by.
Please, can I take a
Wait. You have something else.
Are we done?
Abu da yake?
Professor. Ana yi
Yes.
Premier of the lottery.
This is personal. Yeah, it's just his personal. Kai dai mu je akwai bayani.
Okay, too.
To saboda ya za ku kulle ba mun ce.
Amma dai let's just do.
Okay. To.
This God, it was house there before. It was collapsed. It's going to be here. And
mai martaba gina da kanshi shi ya gyara.
Oh, yeah, now.
Anytime she wants to cut out, we had That's one in.
kai ne sarkin Zazzau Abdulkarimu, kai ne sarkin Zazzau Sanko, kai ne sarkin Zazzau Muhammadu Aminu, yau kai ne sarkin Zazzau Shehu, kuma kai ne sarkin Zazzau Abdulsalami, sarkin Zazzau na 19 ka riga ka gaje su amin.
To say thank you and express our appreciation for hosting us in the palace. We've all had very enjoyable and great experience, because there are some of us who are not from this part of the country. I'm sure they have a lot to take back home. We're very, very honored to have you also in our midst throughout the program that we had. We want to say a big thank you. And as usual, this is our past president, Architect Penny Benebo. He will be expressing a vote of thanks on behalf of NIE. The second VP2 came in from Kano, Sadi Kano. He also had to leave, unfortunately. He's over there. He came from Katsina also. We'll be having an AGM in Kakuri. So I'm sure with what you saw today, there's a challenge thrown to you. We want to see how. So the challenge is, maybe we need people who will go into research on how to, maintain these buildings. So it's a challenge to the students and other people working on their doctoral degrees. Thank you very much.
The protocol, live notes. When we came in here, I noticed most of the people here can sit and fold their legs. I struggle. Anyway, having said that, I'd like to express a deep appreciation of the Nigerian Institute of Architects to you. Like I said yesterday, I came into Kaduna to attend a program of students of technologists in Kaduna. But the chairman told me, they have a workshop in Zaria. And I said, okay, if I've traveled all the way from Lagos to Kaduna, why can't I just wait and travel to Zaria and see what's going on? And I must say that I have not regretted one bit the experience I've had in Zaria in the last 2 weeks. For those of us down south, when I send pictures, I'm in Zaria, everybody's worried, what are you doing in Zaria? But I told them that the experience I've had so far, sometimes you wonder whether it's the same country that people are talking about. But in terms of the organization and also the quality of the workshop that has taken place, my first shocker was when I drove in and saw the large stand, and I thought it was like any other chapter event where they just rent a hall and have a small event. When I saw the canopies, I was wondering, who are the people who are going to sit in this canopy? And they told me, this is where the event is taking place. And the father said that the emir himself is going to grace this occasion. And it's not only going to grace the occasion, there's going to be a mini Dora in honor of the event. And I want to say that we are indeed very, very grateful. Now to the crux of the matter. We have toured a lot of interesting sites in Zaria. And Nigeria has a rich repository of history. And Zaria, initially I used to wonder, we didn't quite understand the history behind Zaria as a town. But this visit has afforded me the opportunity of knowing that Zazzau is actually a nuclear. And looking at the architecture, which is indeed what concerns us, I noticed that more than 80 to 90% of the buildings did or defaced the initial character of the buildings. And it's a challenge to us as architects to achieve that character. There's a small building designed to reflect that original character. I told the story of how, like the president said yesterday, he got challenged by the fact that very much and the experience.
We're particularly very happy, very pleased to hear the feedback from the leaders of the education area, especially, the field work that is going around to see for ourselves, what we have, or the remnants of what we have, because most of these structures have gone, and as you rightly mentioned, it is necessary, to have the members of the profession to recreate and also to preserve and restore what has gone. And I believe with the young people here in the universities should be able to collaborate with us here. We're ready at least to engage them from time to time to come around. So at least putting heads together, at least to have a time or sometimes have brunch them, at least so that at least we can be talking, discussing, and also refreshing our memories. Even though I'm getting very old, looking at what they're doing, so that at least all these forgotten designs or structures that were never documented in the past, can be redesigned, and then of course, we revert back to the old tradition. And as you rightly said, using maybe some material not necessarily what was used previously. And one thing that I take from your presentation now is some buildings being defaced, of which we are all guilty, like using corrugated iron sheets. It's extremely difficult to save it from, remove it and then, raise it up there, the corrugated iron sheet, so that you can see through the actual roofing. And I apologize also for not, spending the entire period with you, because yesterday we had someone going in and out, had security people from the Ministry of Security Studies from Abuja. They came in numbers, about 30 of them were here yesterday. And this morning we had to honor by your presence. So we look forward to seeing when next time in Lagos, we surely reach out. Lagos is my home. I started initially after NYC, I started my career in Lagos. I was in Lagos for 10 years. So, inshallah. So thank you. And you're always welcome to us.
Thank you very much. So we call Ajay as well to say something. Just 2 minutes because of the
chapter had earlier on. Anyway, the reason why we even engaged in the documentation of the heritage sites, we wanted to have a magazine ready by yesterday. Unfortunately, time was against us. So we're not just stopping at what we did today. The documentation is going to translate into a magazine to be launched maybe during Qatar, God willing. And yesterday, the president said he will let the cat out of the bag by announcing, an honorary fellowship for His Highness. We have a plan to come back and document everything he has done in the palace in the 6 years that he has been here. Coming back, Your Highness. Yes, when are we coming back? Very soon. Very soon. Very soon.
tarihin sarkin zazzau abin kenan kana da rabon a zazzau kana da shi a gaba namijin duniya sarkin zazzau malam musa shi ne ya yi da dawo shi ne ya yi malam yana auta malam yana auta kari dubu
Let's leave the 3 chairs.